evening, it's Darren from Jace Media, and tonight we have the pleasure of being in conversation with Mr. Mike Lepond from Silent Assassins. Good evening, Mike, and how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me on today.
Not a problem. Really looking forward to it. I go out walking every day, and yours is the first album that I put on because I've been listening to it since we got it way back in April. So I think we were one of the first PR companies to review it, and I think what my company do is I review it, I send it to my boss, then my boss sends it to your PR company, and I believe that you may get the review. I'm not sure. I don't know if you have. You may have, you may not.
Yeah, I'll have to take a quick look because there's been a bunch of reviews and I'm trying to still sort them all out. So, but thank you very much for your support, and I really appreciate it, and I'm happy to be on. Like I said.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. It's just nice to, I think, in these terrible times and things like that, to get to chat to musicians face to face and kind of get their take on, what's happening in life, and and what I say to everyone that when I'm doing an interview is that for us is that we get to hear your music, we get to review it, and we get to post it. And one day, if I'm going out walking, I think, yeah, I'm going to stick on Mike's album. For you guys, you've been in the studio for a couple of months, writing it down, recording it, re-recording it, rewriting, and then you can't go out on tour. So it must be frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, this year was just, there's like no words, right? I mean, funny story. So I move into a new home in the first week of March, right? But, I'm not worried about paying bills because I'm like, well, I got a tour with Ross the Boss in April, and then I got a tour with Symphony X in May, and then Symphony X summer festivals, and we're, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then boom. And then
It just
boom.
hits like a juggernaut, doesn't it? It's crazy.
So until then, I've been doing probably what most musicians do. I've just been writing more music,
Yeah.
and eating too much, of course.
I think we're all there, Mike. I think I've put on a bit of stone, but I guess it's for musicians, it gives you the time to write stuff, and I don't know if you have looked at the possibility of doing like everyone's doing the online stuff. I don't know if that would fit into your plans. I think in some cases, some musicians, it's best to wait to get the full effect of the shredding guitars and the monster riffs and the bellowing voice. I think some, if you're doing like an acoustic, I don't think sometimes heavy metal comes across that well. When you're sitting listening to you ripping off one and going, doesn't sound the same. Mike doesn't look the same. But it must be hard.
Something, I totally agree with with what you're saying, and just for my own knowledge, I looked into what it would cost to do like a live stream.
Yeah.
And it, at the local studio that opened up, they would supply, they got to supply the lights, they got to supply the engineer.
Yeah.
And the video people, you're looking at about $500 US, and I don't see how that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess unless you know that if you put it online and said, I'm going to do a live stream next Friday night at 8 o'clock, so people are going, yeah, get a couple of beers in me, sit down, rock out with Mike, and then 8 o'clock comes and they go, nah, I can't be bothered. you know, and then you've spent the money. Now, the other side of that is you can go, you can rock out, you know, in the full studio and give it some, but if you're not already making money and then you're losing more money, you then think it's not worth it. And then when you start to gig again, you're then behind the eight ball because you're having to make up your $500 that you've lost, the lost revenue from Ross's tour and Symphony X, and you think, you know, where's it ever going to end? You know, so I sympathise a lot with you guys because it must be really difficult. You know, we have the pleasurable job of reviewing your music and liking it or not. You know, and you go, yeah, you know, recently I've been getting some stuff and I'm thinking, I can't review that. It's just, you know, it's just not good. You know, and we have to write to the PR company and say, look, that's just not good. But you know that when you get something, you know, you just for instance, you look at Dracula's Son, first song out the gate, and you're like, wow, you know, it's just like in the iPhone headphones, and you're off walking, and it's just pounding in your ear, and you think that's what you pay the money for, you know, that's what you pay to go and see you guys for, you know. So I hope that at some point that you'll get to Britain. I hope.
Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned Britain because, you know, one good thing is our label is out of London, and it's Silver Lining Music.
Yep.
And I think there's a good chance we could get over there, and I think they would help us a lot getting over there. And they have some artists on that label that I would love to open for, namely Saxon.
Do you know, Mike? Everybody wants Saxon, right? There's a festival. I don't know if you've heard the festival. It's a festival in Troon called Winterstorm.
No,
I don't know if Dead Daisies have played there. FM's played there. Who else has played there? Wayward Sons has played there. Jeff Tate's played there. You know, and let's get Saxon. You know, and they want something like £50,000 to come and play at a festival, and you think, wow, you know, I've followed Biff Bifford for Jesus. I don't know if have you ever heard of the Glasgow Apollo? Have you ever heard of the Glasgow Apollo?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
If you speak to any of your old rocker buddies from the 70s, the Glasgow Apollo was famous with people like Kiss, Ozzy, Dio, Whitesnake, Maiden, Motorhead. They all played there. It was the crappiest theatre on the planet. Sticky carpets. You know, you could do your Michael Jackson. You could stand and you could be like this. The carpets were just horrendous. But you know what? Everybody wanted to play there. You know, and it's just stuff like that where you know Saxon. I've seen Saxon a bunch of times, and everybody wants to play with Saxon because they're just. You know, there's just something about they're just a real band. You know, Biff's a really nice guy. Spoke to him a few times, and he's just like, yeah, man, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. You know, and he just wants to go and play music. Unfortunate, he's like me. He's had a heart attack. You know, and he's got to take it easy. So you know, as all aging rockers have to do, Mike.
Yeah.
Now, you know, my Darjeeling tea and all that. You know, just got to chill out. None of this alcohol anymore. But it's great. You know, it's great that you know that you have that aspiration to want to open for Saxon. That would be awesome. You know, and I hope that happens.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, or Saxon or a band that's kind of like that. You know, just a solid heavy metal act.
Yeah.
That we would fit with, and you know, we've been dying to play live. I haven't really had a chance to do any touring because I've been really busy touring with Symphony X or Ross the Boss, but I'm hoping that will change for next year. and
Yeah.
we can promote the record properly.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it? I saw you on Facebook a couple of days ago, doing a little Q&A and asking people what their, what their favourite track was, or if they had a favourite track. Has it been received well? The interviews you've been doing, are people loving it, liking it, hating it?
I think the people they're interested to what I kind of what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to say, and
Yeah,
I try to be real. I just talk like just from my house, and um, sometimes I try to be funny. Sometimes I try to be serious, and I in reality I'm kind of a shy person, but I know that in this day and age you have to really get out there on the social media.
yeah.
So I'm doing my best, and I'm going to continue to do these videos. But yeah, I'd say for the most part the response has been really good, and people have
That's great.
enjoyed. Yeah, and I could just keep coming up with so many things to do videos on. So I'll just
Yeah.
keep doing it.
No, it's great. It's great to talk to you. It's great to get your view on on all things COVID and lockdown, and and making music in the music industry, because primarily you guys are the guys that suffer. Because you guys are the guys that put the money out, or the record company put the money out for you to make a record, and then you go, but we can't tour. And you go, right, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? So for us, it's like, we miss coming to the gigs. I miss going to the gigs to review the gig, to chat to the stars, and like yourself, I'm a Scottish people. We're always funny, so it doesn't matter, Mike. So if you're not funny, I'm funny. It doesn't matter. So we're all good. Now, the thing is that, you're right. It's nice to be a little bit serious, because, you've spent months making an album that you hope that your PR company, your record company said, this is a seller, this is going to do well. And then you put it out and it pangs and people go, my God, that was shit. And you go, I thought it was really good, So I guess there's bits of that in it for you, that you've got to go, you've got to write the best you can, And as I say, I've got six favourites on the album that that kind of really that resonate with you. You listen to them, you listen to the chords and the tone and the riffs, and you think, wow, and it just pop out at you, and as you walk, I think when you walk, you've got plenty of time to think about stuff,
That's interesting.
and
Yeah.
there's a couple of songs, I played Dracula's Son probably over and over for the first 10-15 minutes, because I like to get the old headbang, as I'm walking around. And then you get into songs like Champion, and Ides March and stuff like that, where you get a diverse mix of your vocal range and the playing styles of the guys, So it's an awesome album, and I do hope that when it comes out that it does extremely well. I really do, because it's just, you don't want to have someone come out and you get a lukewarm reception, or that you then put it out and then it doesn't go anywhere, because you've got another 6 months, another 9 months of waiting for the horrible COVID to go before
Yeah.
you can start on the road. And I know that you guys have got it quite bad at the moment. America, it's quite horrific.
Yeah. I think it's more of it is in the New York, New Jersey area, which is where I live.
Yeah,
Just like little pockets of the country, here and there. It's spiking here and there, but it's and that's another interesting thing. Do you put out an album during a pandemic? I had to make a decision,
yeah,
and what my bet was, and what my hope was that a lot of people are home and they're looking for music to listen to.
yeah.
So that was my hope, and so I said, you know what, let's just release it, and
See
get
where
it
it
out.
goes. Yeah, see where it goes. Yeah, and I think I think you're like most of the musicians. I think once it kind of starts to ease off. Now, I've been in lockdown for 18 weeks.
Yeah,
I've been at home for 18 weeks. I go out for my walk once a day, and then I stay home and I review albums and videos and do interviews all day, every day. So I'm still getting to do what I love, Mike, but
Yeah.
you kind of think it's 18 weeks where you're stuck at home, you
Oof.
know, totally like climbing the walls, wanting to murder your wife because you're like, I want to murder you because I just don't like you, and it's just because one of these things you think, geez, when is it ever going to end? When's it going to ease off? Because I think that for everybody, I think that that's the plan. Ease it off, get us out of it, get us back to live music. Because you must be itching to do it. You must be itching.
Yeah, so much of what you're saying is resonating with me. I'll tell you what, I there's about 30 minutes a day where I will walk my dog. That's the
Yeah,
big walk. And boy, I need that walk. I need that
yeah,
walk to clear my mind, and it's like you say, I'm on the edge,
yeah.
I'm uh I'm nervous. I want to get out. I want life to get back to normal. And I'm just, and I think I probably speak for most people, you're just not yourself, and
No, you're not, mate. You're right. Right. Do you have kids?
no, I just have a dog.
You're unlucky because I've got three of them and I hate them all because they rip my. There's a saying in Scotland. They rip my knitting. Okay, so if anybody's giving you a bit of grief, you say to them, "Hey man, you're ripping my knitting." Okay,
Okay.
remember, keep that and write that down because that's a saying in Scotland when someone's pissing you off. You're ripping my knitting. They go, "Okay, man, I'll step back." So I've got the kids here, and it's probably the only time in our life where the kids are here, the wife is here, I'm here. I've got my other son. He's in Australia just now, and they're being put on lockdown again, total lockdown. So he's like totally climbing the walls. He's like, I can't go out, I can't do anything. I can't see my friends, and I'm like, yeah, but it's just one of these things. It's just a horrible disease. It's just it's grabbed the nation by the scruff of the neck, and I think until we get a vaccine or a cure, I think it's always going to be the threat, Mike. Now, what they're talking about in Britain is that they're doing these drive-in gigs at the moment, where you have an empty theatre or a field, and they build a stage and they allow 100 cars in with four people in the car, and it's maybe $100, and you get two acts, a warm-up act and the act, and you get your app, and you can order food and drinks, and they bring them to the car. And I think that's at the moment. I think that's going to be the new thing. That's going to be the new normal. Before, and they're also talking about. I think it's September, October, allowing 30% of the concert venue for people. So if you've got a 10,000 arena stadium, you get 1,000 people. If you get 300, you get 30 people, and that's not going to work. Imagine Silent Assassins rocking up to Glasgow and going, right guys, let's go, and the curtain opens and you're like, oh, I've got 30 people.
I know. And how can these club owners make any money with
Yeah.
like that?
It's hard all over, Mike. It's hard all over. Everybody is feeling it. You just want to, as a metal fan, I've been a metal fan since I've been 8. Yeah, throw your hair out, giving it, because I think for you guys, you've made the album, it's sitting on a shelf, and the record company's saying, right, we need to make some money, and yes, you'll get streams, you'll get downloads, and you'll get people going to stores and buying it, put it in the car, CD player in the car. And I do hope that it does that because, as I say, it's a stonker of an album. It's just got, lots of gritty riffs in it, and it's got lots of power chords and screaming vocals. And I like all that stuff, and it's just a phenomenal album. And I hope it really does well. And obviously in this time, have you been writing more?
Sure.
New album?
Yeah, with with all this time off, I'm sitting in my room and I'm like, here, let me just work. I'll just grab the guitar. And to be honest with you, I wrote an entire fourth Assassins album.
Wow.
just in the 2 months that we had, and just because I don't know what to do. I'm walking from room to room,
Yeah. Freaking out.
but I'll
With the
tell you, yeah,
guitar, like strolling around from room to room, giving it, yeah, that's a good call. Let me write that down. Let me get this lyric in.
right,
It must be frustrating. It must be real.
yeah,
It must be a real, bummer that you've got all these ideas, and everybody I've spoken to have said the same, that giving us time to write, and it's giving us time for another album, and you think no sooner, I don't think, will you be out on the road, and you'll be 6 months into your tour with Ross the Boss or Symphony X, and they'll go, "We have another album," and people thinking,
yeah,
"You haven't got round the world with this one yet." But I think I think that's going to be the normal. I think that once they start doing gigs, I think you'll have a gig in Glasgow or New York, or New York or wherever, every single day. And I think they'll be like that for months and months and months, because everybody will be itching to get out, and the concert venues will just be overrun with gigs, because people just want to go, "I haven't played for 9 months. I need to get out.
oh,
I need to get my frustration. I'm fed up kicking my cat or my dog. I want to get out there and rock, until my fucking ears fall off." And
oh
I
my
guess
God,
that's, I think that's the hard thing, for you
yeah,
guys. It's
yeah, just we're like, we feel like we're in a cage, and we just want to break out of the cage and start rocking, and as soon as possible. Now, as for me, I guess Ross the Boss, had a bold move. He had booked a European tour for November. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll tell you, if it does happen, he'll be like the hero,
yeah.
So I really hope.
Yeah, I've got I've got friends that are in heavy petting,
Yeah.
and they're out doing some stuff with Michael Schenker, and they're supposedly coming to Scotland in December. Now,
Mm,
do you know what they're talking about in Scotland? Is that they're talking about it's not going to be till January at the
mm.
earliest, and you kind of, I think that's the thing for you guys. You in your head you've got November, 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 and then the government says no, it's not going to happen. Continue kicking your dog, because it's not going to happen. And I think that's the real kind of. I think that's the focal point that everyone's reaching to. To get to November, to get to October, get to December, and be able to get out there and start rocking. But us as reviewers and media companies, we have to be realistic and hope that it's going to work. I don't think it will, Mike, to be honest.
Right.
But it is what it is. So
Yeah.
what about the other guys? Do you still talk to the guys? Are you in
Yeah.
contact with the guys, or is it just like go with the flow and see what happens? Or
Yeah. I mean, as far as the Silent Assassins, I think I'm just going to sit back and wait,
yeah,
and just wait till things kind of get to a point where I see shows going on. With Symphony X, we have something booked for February.
cool.
Um, at some point we're going to start working on a new album too. And in between that stuff, I'll maybe do some more Silent Assassins things. But until then, I'll just keep working the Silent Assassins on the social media
Yeah,
and try to develop interest that way, and do as many interviews as I can, and do just, I guess, do what I can within the confines
of,
of
of
of the
lockdown. Yeah, yeah.
cage.
Yeah, do you know? And I think that this is a phenomenal way to get out there. Be on social media, be on Skype, be on Zoom. And people who want to phone you up or get in touch with you and say, like your album, do you want to have a chat? Now, sometimes you might think, I'm hacked off with the world. I don't want to talk to anyone. But I guess you've got to be on show, all the time, because people go, I can fit you in for 25 minutes at 6:35, and you're like, I'm walking my dog and I'm going to kick it after it, so I don't know if I'll be able to fit him in. But you've got to say to yourself, it's an opportunity to get the Silent Assassins out there, and drum up the interest. So I guess, yes, some of these things are, they're probably mind blowing when you think, I've got to sit and talk to another guy for half an hour. I've got 20 minutes and I've got to talk to someone else, and then I've got to do a phone interview, and then, geez, I've got to eat, and then I've got to write some stuff, But I guess, this is the painful miles you've got to do to get, Silent Assassins on the radar. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've done I've been doing interviews in the morning. I've been doing them at midnight, whatever I could do.
Yeah.
And but I mean, everybody who was involved in the album, we're really proud of it. And
you should be, Mike.
Thank you very much. And I have to say, it's got a very good response, and so I'm very pleased. And for me, the Silent Assassins is therapy, because it just keeps me in touch with my classic heavy metal roots.
Yes.
I'll write something and I'll be like, all right, yeah, let me steal that Exciter riff I heard back in '83. Let me, that kind of thing. And
stick it in my back pocket, leave it there, and in 2 months' time, no one will know, and I'll slip it in the lyric, and then it'll be all good. And I think that's what you've got to do. You've just got to, as you say, you get a bit of excitement about something you write, or a riff you put down, and you think, yeah, I want to get in the studio and get that down, because you don't want to lose the momentum. I think for you guys, that's the thing. Losing them, sitting at home, thinking, crikey, when's this going to end? I want to get out there, I want to do my bit. And I think that's the hard thing, and you've always got to be on the move. You've got to be always on excitement about writing stuff, and, and hoping that someone knocks on the door and says, we're out on tour in 2 weeks' time. You're like, well, fantastic, But I do hope that you do get to Britain, you come to Scotland, come and see us in Scotland, look me up, we'll go for a beer, we'll talk about kicking dogs and shit like that, Mick, and we'll just have a good time. And I hope you get to Scotland, because it'd be a pleasure to meet up with you, to have a chat, and do another interview and talk all things Scottish.
That would be great. I've played Scotland a few times. I've played Scotland with Symphony X and with Ross the Boss, and I love playing there. And it's true, you guys are hysterically funny, super funny.
Mike, you need to maybe hire me as your writer. I'll talk through some shit, making them laugh, and people go, my God, Mike's really funny. Scottish people, I think they're just one of these nations that we just, people like our accent, people like what we talk about. You talk about Buckfast, you've heard of Buckfast, you've heard of haggis, Iron Brew, we just talk about stuff like that, and people just think we're really funny. And they're right.
Yeah, I'll never forget. We had a roadie with Symphony X, and it was his very first tour. So he's totally green. We go to Scotland, and the crew at the club, they're seasoned pros, and man, they rode him like it was out of love, but they beat him up so bad. It was so funny.
You've got to have your wits about you when you come to Scotland, Mike, because everybody, they love their music, they love their bands. Ross the Boss is very well thought of in Scotland and Glasgow and Edinburgh, and I'm sure that when you guys come, you'll be exactly the same. But I think that everybody, Scottish people, just love loud music. They love to have a beer, and they love to go and see someone. Mike Lepond's coming. People go, who's that guy? Oh, he's in Symphony X. He's got his own band. Let's go and see him. 20 quid a ticket, 15 quid a ticket, and they come away and they go, wow, that was an experience. I rocked out. I had some beers. I spoke to the Mike after it, and he was just really cool. And I think that's Scottish people love that. They just want to go and rock out. They want to make the loudest noise, and they don't care. They just love it. So I do hope that you do get to Scotland If not England, as I say, we have outlets. We have outlets in London and Manchester and Birmingham. So, you know, one of my guys will hopefully get to see you. But if you do eventually get up to Scotland, please look me up. We'll go for a beer. I'll take you for a sausage supper. There's another Scottish thing, a sausage supper. Get one of them. Bottle of Buckfast. You're all good. So it'll be fantastic. So I don't want to take up too much of your time, Mike. I know we've been on Skype for a bit. I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you, to get to know you as a person, to talk about the album. You know, I'll give you my 6 favourite songs.
Awesome.
Okay, Dracula Sun, which is just it's a foregone conclusion. Ides of March, Champion, Power of Steel, Whores of Babylon, and Avalon. There's my 6 favourites, because each of them has a story and each of them tells you something, you know. And I think when you listen to music and you interview people, you get to know their psyche, what they're all about, and you walk along and you go, yeah, I can really dig that, you know, because I really know what it's all about. So, you know, that's my 6 favourites. You know, it'll be that this video will be on probably tomorrow. On Jace Media, we get between 60 and 80,000 hits a month.
Wow!
So you've been on your best behaviour. You've been quite funny. So people dig that shit. So it'll be cool. Put it on. I'll let you know when it goes live. I'll send you a message, and you can look at it and read back, and you know, think about the funny Scottish guy you were talking to for half an hour. So.
That sounds great. I appreciate it.
Mike. Listen, it was an absolute pleasure. This is Darren from Jace Media in conversation with Mike Lepond. It's been an absolute pleasure, Mike, to speak to you, to chat all things music. I hope you're safe and well, and I hope at some point in the near future you'll get to Scotland. We can come and rock out, we'll get a beer, and we'll just talk about the good old days.
Rock and roll.
Thank you very much, Mike. Take it easy.
Take care, man.
Thank you.